Hi, ladies. I'm Brittany, and I'm thrilled to welcome you to BW, a haven of healing and personal growth. Hi, ladies. So, today I want to talk about my healing journey and 10 things I've learned while on this journey. So, first, I'm going to start off talking a little bit about what initiated my journey. What sparked my interest in healing was my marriage was rocky. We were just two broken individuals who had no idea how to navigate a relationship, let alone a marriage. The drama and toxicity drove me to question why we couldn't seem to get things right. For years, I placed blame solely on my husband. I believe if he only did this thing differently or loved me in a certain way, that everything would fall into place. Yet when he did make efforts, I struggled to accept them, pushing us back into arguments. He felt that I was, unappreciative and ungrateful when he did try. So I can see why he felt that way. That wasn't the case for me, though. It's just I felt like, oh, you're doing this for this reason or that reason, and that it wasn't genuine. But genuine or not, he was trying, and I should have acknowledged that. And so the cycle just continued. We back arguing, and I grew weary of the cycle, and I knew something needed to change. So I'm going to give a little timeline to like my little healing journey and the things that I've done. So to start off, in 2018, I began counseling with a focus on myself rather than my marriage. I recognized that to have a healthy marriage, I needed to be a whole person first. And once I became the whole person, then that's when I could be capable of being a good partner and a mother. And so at this time, I was living in Michigan and it was wintertime. And if you know anything about Michigan, winters, they can be treacherous. And so during that period, I kind of made every excuse or every reason not to attend my sessions. I would wake up, look outside that window, and be like, "Oh, not today, baby. I don't feel like cleaning off this car, warming it up," and all the excuses deterred me, and I didn't continue to go. So in 2020, my husband and I began counseling, which, while beneficial in theory, we failed to apply its principles effectively. So it really, I don't want to say it didn't do much for us, but because we didn't apply things effectively, we really didn't see any results. One of the first things that the therapist said to us, or the counselor said to us, was we have to be willing to let all the old things go and start new with these principles that he was teaching us and to apply them to our lives. Well, one thing about our marriage, letting things go has been the biggest issue. I mean, letting things go, sweeping under the rugs, years of stuff is a issue, humongous issue. And so because we didn't follow that first step of letting bygones be bygones and letting things be, what it was, we really couldn't move forward. So from 2021 to 2022, I resumed personal counseling. I experienced some growth, but I was still struggling to implement his teaching into my life. But still, yeah, I wanted change. But I realized that I wanted change without putting the necessary effort. I just wanted things to happen for me. I wanted to go to a couple sessions, and then I wanted to be whole and brand new and be this woman and wife that I always imagined. And unfortunately, it does not work like that at all. In April of 2021, I think, I stumbled upon the concept of femininity on YouTube. Now, if one thing about me, I am a YouTube girly. I love me some YouTube. I've been a YouTube girly since the inception of YouTube when everybody was small creators and now they're doing their thing. I was back in college when I really got into like the YouTube realm. So that's like 2011, 12 ish around there. And so YouTube has always been my go-to to find out information, to learn new things, to learn new skills in regards to like being a better woman, wife, things that I was not taught in my life. I go to YouTube to learn some things, and I love YouTube University. I'm not even gonna lie. And so I wasn't sure what femininity was or what femininity meant. So I delved deeper, discovering a mentor whose content resonated profoundly with me. Her teachings illuminated my role in the discord of my life and my relationships. Despite considering myself a good person with noble intentions, I realized unresolved childhood trauma, emotional baggage, and societal conditioning obscured my true self. So, as I embarked on the journey to shed layers and unlearn harmful patterns and rediscover the woman I was meant to be, after spending countless hours on YouTube and my mentor's page and watching all her videos and Googling stuff and trying to researching the things that she's talking about, I knew it was time to embark on a journey to shed these layers, unlearn harmful patterns, and rediscover the woman I was meant to be. So counseling, personal development, and YouTube content on femininity and marriage became invaluable resources to me. I spent countless hours rewiring my brain with the information and acquiring essential life skills that I had never been taught. So, ladies, my journey has been marked by starts and stops. I take a break a year or so, but I still knew that I needed to keep pushing. I needed to keep going. So each time I recommitted myself. I embraced the mantra, let's begin again. That's my favorite thing. Begin again. I never want to completely give up on myself, or feel like a failure. Sometimes you feel like a failure when you start something and then you can't finish it, or things doesn't go how you thought that they would go, so you just give up. But never be afraid to begin again. Consistent effort rather than perfection. That has been my guiding principle. So, ladies, here are the 10 things that I have learned while on my own personal journey. Number one, healing takes time. Be patient. Don't be like me thinking you're going to go to a couple sessions, you're going to watch a couple YouTube videos, and everything is going to be perfect and everything, you're going to be healed and you're going to be this new person. It does not work like that, unfortunately. Number two, apply newfound knowledge to your life actively. So the things that you learn on your journey, the information, the knowledge, apply it to your life. Because if you don't apply it, then it's useful. So my example I have for this is the power of the tongue creates life and death, right? So in our minds, we know that. We know that scripture. We know that saying. We know it. Some of us may know it. And so, but yet, if when you speak, you're destroying people, when you speak, you're belittling people, your tongue is sharp and it cuts deep. So that means you have all the knowledge in your head, but you have no embodiment. Because if you apply the knowledge that you knew about the power of your tongue, there's no way you will be breaking people down. There's no way you'll be, being negative and putting curses on people's lives with your tongue if you truly embody that the tongue has the power to speak life or death. So that's an example of, the importance of applying the knowledge, to our lives. Embodiment is a big thing. Number three, focus on your healing journey. You cannot control other paths. Meaning, just because I started to heal, you started to heal, that does not mean that the people around us are going to start doing the same thing, unfortunately. And we have no power to control or to change people. That has been my mantra for a minute. I do not have the power to control or change. And when I let that resonate with me, I absolutely step back. So we can't control what other people do. Even though they may need to take their own healing journey, that's not our job to get them to see that. Everyone has free will and can do whatever they want to do, whenever, however. Now, little caveat there can be some consequences to that, so on and so forth, but that's not what this is about. So you can't control people. One thing I learned or I realized during my healing journey is that the more aware I became of myself, the more information and knowledge I became aware of, the more I noticed how many people need to heal. How many people are holding on to childhood trauma, past life experience, negative things that's happened to them, how they're holding on to it. I mean, they holding on to it like it's their baby. They holding on to it like if they let it go, they gonna die. And child, please. Number 4, expect emotional turbulence as you confront past traumas. So there are going to be many layers that need to be peeled back. And it's not going to be easy because you're peeling back layers of hurt and trauma and bad past experiences. And it will take you on an emotional roller coaster. However, it's meant to do that for you. It's meant to bring all of that stuff up to the surface so that you can see it and take it head on. And so you will go through every range of emotion and feeling. Number 4 is the reason why a lot of people do not like the healing journey and will decide not to even take the journey or go on the journey because they don't want to confront their past. They don't want to bring up things that hurts them or that was, a terrible experience for them. And rightfully so. I get that and I understand it. But when you're ready to move past and beyond and you're ready to live the life that you desire, none of that matter. You're going to push through it and you're going to come out on the other side. So just be aware that it is a emotional roller coaster, and things that you didn't even think bother you, you will realize that it's been an issue in your life and it has been bothering you. Number 5, take ownership of your triggers. No one else is responsible for your reactions. My thing about this one is no one can trigger me if the trigger is not fair. I'm responsible for my triggers. This is another thing that I did not realize on my journey. If I was triggered, it was that person's fault. Like, why are you saying this to me? Why are you doing this? And now you mad that I'm popping off and going off. Well, if you didn't trip this trigger, then we won't be where we are now. I am responsible for me. If I truly worked on that trigger, if I truly dig deep and figure out why am I triggered in this area, then that trigger will get smaller and eventually disappear. So your triggers are your responsibilities, not the other person's. Number 6, establish a morning or nightly routine to support your healing. So this one for me is a big one. It's small, but it is humongous. Because when you have a morning and or night routine, you're essentially pouring back into yourself. You're taking care of yourself first before you pour and take care of other people, especially like if you're a wife, a mother, or in a long-term committed relationship. It's very important to pour back into yourself. But for me, I needed to start a routine because for so many years I just got up and went with the flow that it started to hinder me and I started to lose myself. So when I worked in corporate America for 9 years, majority of that time I worked from home. Before C word happened in 2020, I was working from home. And so with that, I could roll over 5 minutes before it was time for me to start and hop on my computer and hop on the phone, and I was good. I brush my teeth whenever, I take a shower whenever. It got to the point where I no longer had any clothes to even look cute and feel good in because my wardrobe consists of pajamas, t-shirts, and leggings. And little by little, I no longer started to feel good about myself. I didn't feel cute. I didn't have something nice that I could put on that uplifted my spirit. And so having a routine where I get up in the morning and I focus on me first and I get myself together, I get dressed, I have, devotion and worship and just pour back into me. It was very, very vital, and it raised my vibration, it raised my confidence. And so during my journey, a morning routine has been good for me because I'm setting the standard for my day. And that standard is for me to feel good. Same thing for nighttime routine. I have a nighttime routine with my kids because once they go to bed, baby, that's my time. That's my time to focus on me and to do what it is that I want to do. Whether that's content, whether I want to relax, lay back, watch TV, YouTube, whatever it may be. Like, that is my time to do it, as well as spending time with my husband as well. Number 7, challenge ingrained beliefs and behaviors shaped by past experiences. So for this, it kind of has been the hardest thing for me because I realized that I was living my life based on what people thought and felt I should be doing. And a lot of that came from my upbringing in my childhood. Um, it's people who will say, "Oh, Brenda, you'll be good at this," or "You talk so much, you should be a lawyer," or "You so smart this, or you gonna be the one who gonna break the generation curses." So all of that became my mission to do it. It became my mission. Oh, maybe I do want to be a lawyer because, quote unquote, I talk so much. Or, I do want to go off to go college. I'm gonna be the first one to go college. Everybody want me to go to college, so let me go to college. Where caveat, there's nothing wrong with going to college, but the thing is that it wasn't me saying, "Oh, this is what I desire, this is what I want." It's more say, "Oh, they think I should do this, okay, well, I'm gonna do this because they feel that I should do this," and to show them that, yeah, I can break generic curses, I can do this and I can do that, because they felt that I already could. And even though those things may have been right decisions I made, they still didn't sit well with me. I made a lot of decisions that were not meant for me. The college I picked was not solely because of the decision I wanted. The major I picked was not solely the decision on me. At the time, I thought it was, but now when I reflect and think back, decisions I made was based on other people's thoughts, feelings, and opinions. And so on my journey, as I realized this, I'm like, dang, I feel like I'm living a lie to myself. I feel like I'm living a lie to myself all of these years because of all of these things I've done, whether good or not. It still wasn't my first choice, my first reason, it wasn't what I truly wanted. And a lot of that was because I didn't know what I want. I only knew what other people wanted from me. Number 8, recognize that healing in one area often unveils the need for growth in others. So, the healing journey may start in one particular area in your life, and then you quickly realize how many other areas need to be healed. So, for example, I wanted to start, my journey basically trying to heal my womanhood and learn the proper wife duties. I quickly realized I also needed to change my mindset and my thinking. My limiting beliefs and my self-talk about men, relationships, and marriage and having a family hindered me. Because those limiting beliefs and negative self-talk would never allow me to have the marriage I wanted and needed. How could I have something I didn't even believe was possible? So I was self-sabotaging and projecting all of my insecurities, all my limiting beliefs on my husband, and pretty much blaming everything on him when I didn't believe it was possible to have a good marriage. If you don't believe it's possible to have a good marriage, how do you expect to have a good marriage? So I knew I had to work on my mindset and how I thought about, certain things. So until I worked on healing my mindset, nothing was going to change. So be open to the process. That's why healing is a journey. You will see different layers that need to be peeled back that you wasn't even expecting to even, worry about or work on at that time. Number 9, Customize your healing journey to suit your preferences and needs. So for this one, I had to learn to do what makes sense for me. There's a ton of advice out here in these social media streets. Some of the advice I quickly wrote down, ready to try it. Other advice I would just scroll by and ignore it. The things I tried but didn't like, enjoy, or it didn't work out for me, I just didn't do it and I just got rid of it. The things I did like, I found the best ways to implement it into my life. So also what I forgot to mention at the beginning of the things that I've been doing on my healing journey, two things I also implementing was journaling and meditating as well. I have absolutely fallen in love with journaling. And so there are so many methods and advice on when to journal, the type of language that should be using while journaling. And so because I love journaling, it's something that I do often. So I tried different methods of what people said how you're supposed to journal, and I just stuck with what works best for me. I tried multiple ways and stuck with what was best for me, tailored to me. Um, a lot of times we hear someone's suggestions, we try to do it exactly like them, and if we don't like it or if it's not our style, we just give up on it and say, oh, it doesn't work. Well, yeah, it may not have worked for you the same way it worked for that person. Just because it worked for that person in a particular way does not mean that same thing cannot work for you. However, there are some things that just not meant for you that could be meant for somebody else. So just tailor your journey to you and what suits your preferences and needs. All right, ladies. So finally, number 10, embrace the concept of compound growth because progress accumulates over time through consistent and intentional efforts. Compounding is something that I became familiar with on this journey, and it's something that I really needed because I just wanted to do it all right then and there, and I wanted it all to show. I wanted to people to be able to see that I'm working on myself and that I'm transforming into this woman I wanted to be, and I wanted to be quickly. As long as I knew the information, knew the knowledge, I should be good, right? No, because remember, like I said, it's all about embodying the information and the knowledge that you become aware of. And so what I had to do was take my time with each thing that I was learning and take it from my head to my body. So the compound effect is a book. And it's about forming and sustaining good habits and defeating bad ones. The strategy of reaping huge rewards from small, seemingly insignificant actions. So, the information that I learned or became aware of, chunking that down into small pieces and incorporating it into my daily life is so important. And over time, as you see these little steps and these little actions, it will evolve and grow. And then you have now suddenly mastered this one thing that you thought you would never master. And so I love the compound effect because it shows that you don't have to be on your healing journey all day, every day. Like, we need to rest. We don't want to be burnt out. We don't want to be overwhelmed with emotions and things of that nature all day, every day. So just taking one thing that you learn, you know, breaking it down to smaller pieces and putting your and adding, incorporating it into your life, and then as you learn something else, you do the same thing. As you learn something else, you do the same thing, and over time, everything builds up. So, ladies, those are the 10 things I have learned or come to realize while on my healing journey. So, I hope that you found something or you learned something or you're going to choose to implement something as well into your healing journey. So, feel free to comment and tell me things that you've learned or you realized on your healing journey or things that you were not aware of when it comes to a healing journey. Let me know if you're currently on your healing journey or if you're ready to stop being mean and ugly and ready to initiate your healing journey. And so, one thing I want all of you ladies to always remember is that the journey is ongoing and growth unfolds at its own pace. As one of my mentors says, the slower you go, the faster you arrive. At first, I did not understand that. But since I've been on my journey and I've been, healing certain areas of my life and learning new things, that most definitely resonates with me now. So ladies, I love you. Feel free to like, comment, and to subscribe. And until next time, I'm Brittany, your inner work specialist, and thank you for taking the BW journey with me. Bye, ladies. I begin to